and the heart of Willow Creek. After the tragic loss of her partner, Jody Richards struggles to navigate life as a single mother to Mia, her spirited 6-year-old daughter with cerebral palsy. Jody pours all her energy into caring for Mia while juggling her job at a small community center. Romantic relationships seem far from her mind. After all, who has time for love when survival is the priority? However, fate has its own plans, and the arrival of a charming newcomer ignites feelings Jody thought were lost forever. Will she allow herself to open her heart to love again? Moving to Willow Creek was supposed to be a fresh start for Tara Bennett. A talented landscape designer, Tara left her fast-paced life in the city to pursue her dream of opening a boutique garden design business. Romance is the last thing on her mind, but when her path crosses with Jody's, the chemistry is undeniable. Can Tara balance her burgeoning feelings for Jody with her ambition, or will she let the chance at love slip through her fingers? Join Jody and Tara in the picturesque town of Willow Creek, filled with eccentric characters and unexpected connections, as they embark on a journey to discover true love amidst life's chaos. Tara shifted the heavy tote bag on her shoulder as she entered the quaint cafe, inhaling the aroma of freshly baked pastries. She was on her way to meeting a client, but decided to grab a quick coffee first. Her niece, Daisy, had insisted on tagging along, brimming with energy as only a 5-year-old could be. "Uncle Tara, can I sit by the window?" Daisy pleaded, her curls bouncing as she pointed to a seat that offered a view of the bustling street. "Sure thing, sweet pea." Tara smiled, leading her to the table. After settling Daisy in with a coloring book, Tara made her way to the counter. The moment she stepped forward, a wave of warmth washed over her as she caught sight of the barista. Long brunette hair swept up into a bun, and a welcoming smile that lit up her entire face. There was an undeniable spark in the air, one that made Tara's heart skip a beat. "What can I get for you?" The barista's voice was smooth, laced with a hint of playfulness. Just a coffee, please." "Black." Tara cleared her throat, annoyed at how flustered she was feeling. "And, maybe a blueberry muffin." "Great choices," the barista replied, her bright hazel eyes gleaming with interest. "That will be $7, please." As Tara pulled out her wallet, she caught a glimpse of the woman's wrist adorned with a colorful bracelet that immediately caught her attention. It looked familiar, like the ones worn by volunteers at community pride events. Though it didn't confirm anything, it was an encouraging sign. "Keep the change," Tara said, hoping the casualness would mask her growing nerves. "Thanks a lot." The barista beamed, taking the money before handing over the change. "I'm Jody, by the way." "Tara." Somehow, Tara managed to find her voice, extending her hand. Jody took it with a firm, yet gentle grip. "Nice to meet you. Are you new to Willow Creek?" Jody's curiosity was evident, her eyes shining with interest. "Yeah, just moved here a couple of weeks ago," Tara replied. "I'm starting a new landscape design business." "Really? That sounds amazing." Jody leaned against the counter, and Tara couldn't help but notice how comfortable she looked, her energy infectious. "If you ever need a partner for a project, I'd be more than happy to help. I work at the community center, and we constantly look for ways to spruce up the gardens. I might take you up on that." Tara's heart raced at the prospect. "Daisy, my niece, would love that too." Before they could continue their conversation, Jody's attention was pulled away by a little voice. "Miss Jody. Can I have a cookie?" Daisy exclaimed, her face beaming with excitement. Jody laughed and turned to her. "You can have anything you want, sweetheart, but you have to promise to share with your Uncle Tara." "Okay." Daisy giggled, completely unaware of the spark igniting between the adults. With their orders in hand, Tara hesitated. She had appointments to keep and a business to establish, but as she caught Jody's eye, something inside her whispered to pause. Perhaps Willow Creek was a place where love could grow. "Can I join you for a moment?" Tara asked impulsively, feeling daring. "Of course." Jody responded, the delight in her voice making Tara's heart flutter. As they settled at the table by the window, their laughter filled the air, and in that moment, surrounded by the warmth of newfound connection, Tara felt that she just might be on the brink of something beautiful. Together, they began to share stories, dreams, and perhaps the beginnings of a romance that neither had anticipated. Tara and Jody settled into their conversation, the warmth of the cafe and the aroma of coffee creating an atmosphere that felt promises of something special. The initial awkwardness faded quickly as laughter began to flow freely. "So how did you end up moving to Willow Creek?" Jody asked, leaning in with genuine curiosity. Tara smiled, running a hand through her hair. "I just needed a change. The city was starting to feel a bit suffocating. I've always wanted a place where I could cultivate my passion for gardening without the stress of deadlines and rush hour traffic." "That makes perfect sense," Jody said, her eyes sparkling. "Willow Creek is the kind of place where you can breathe. Plus, everyone is welcoming. The community center is at the heart of all the local events." "That sounds great," Tara said, instantly interested. "What kind of events do you guys host?" "Oh, everything. We have farmers markets, art fairs, and even seasonal festivals. The Summer Bloom Festival is my favorite. We turn the whole park into a flower garden and showcase local talent." Jody's enthusiasm was contagious, and Tara found herself getting lost in Jody's vivid descriptions, imagining the vibrant flowers and bustling families. "Wow! I'd love to see that," Tara said, feeling an unshakable sense of excitement. "I could get involved in that. I have some ideas for floral installations." Jody's smile widened. "Absolutely. We're always looking for talented people to help us out. Maybe you could do something for the upcoming Harvest Festival." "Gosh, that would be amazing!" Tara exclaimed. "I'll bring my portfolio next time." Just then, Daisy, driven by her never-ending energy, interrupted. "Miss Jody, can we play outside? I want to go on the swings." "Of course, sweetheart. Just wait until I finish my muffin," Jody replied, grinning down at her niece. The moment felt so real, and Tara couldn't help but admire the way Jody interacted with Daisy. There was a tenderness in her voice that set off something instinctual in Tara. "You're wonderful with kids," Tara said softly, her heart growing warm. "Thanks." Jody beamed. "Mia, my daughter, is a handful, too. She's got her precious moments, but it's all about finding joy in the little things. It's a wild ride, but I wouldn't trade it for the world." Tara nodded, feeling a sting of sympathy for Jody. "It must be tough, though. Losing someone you love is never easy." "Yeah, it can be challenging," Jody admitted, a shadow passing over her expression. "But Mia keeps me grounded. She is the light of my life, and I know her other mother would want me to be happy and enjoy life." Tara felt a connection churn in her heart. "You're doing an amazing job. It's clear how much you love her. I can see it in the way you talk about her." The sincerity in Tara's tone made Jody smile, and the two women shared a moment of unspoken understanding. Across their table, Daisy busily colored, blissfully shielding them from life's complexities. After a moment of silence, Jody looked back at Tara, her brown eyes gleaming with curiosity. "So what about you? Have you ever thought about settling down, starting a family?" Tara felt her breath hitch slightly, an abrupt intimacy hanging in the air. "Well, I've always dreamed of having a family, maybe not in the traditional sense, but I want to build something meaningful with someone special." She hesitated then continued, "But as of now, I'm focused on my career, my new business." "I get that," Jody replied. "It's all about timing, isn't it? Life always throws us curveballs when we least expect it." As Jody spoke, Tara caught a flicker of vulnerability in her eyes. The urge to reach out to comfort her pulsed within. Instead, she smiled gently, watching as Jody took a deep breath, seemingly grounding herself. "Can I ask you something personal, Jody?" Tara broke the silence. "What are you looking for in a partner?" Jody seemed taken aback at first, but a smile soon graced her lips again. "Honestly, someone who understands the craziness of life, you know. Someone who can embrace both challenges and joys. I want a partner who can share laughter and even tears. Those sound like important qualities to me, Tara said, her heartbeat quickening as she shared her own truth. For me, it's about connection, someone who can really see me, who understands my work and my passion, and who's willing to build a life together. The two women locked eyes, and Tara felt a subtle shift in the air. A connection deeper than friendship was taking shape right in front of them. Are you ready to explore that possibility? Jody asked softly, her voice filled with hope. Definitely, Tara whispered. But first, let's get through our meals before Daisy bounces off the walls. Laughter erupted between them, lightening the atmosphere. Daisy, somehow sensing the shift, chimed in, "Can we make flower crowns for the festival? I want to wear pretty flowers." Tara chuckled, toying with a strand of her hair. "Sure, we can make the most beautiful crowns. Let's all meet up soon, I can bring the supplies." "I'd love that," Jody replied, her eyes lighting up with joy. The conversation lowered to casual chatting as their meals wrapped up, Daisy excitedly discussing the flavors of her cookie. Eventually, they settled the bill and made their way to the door. As they stepped outside into the crisp afternoon, Tara felt as if the world had expanded around them. The vibrant hues of autumn leaves cascaded to the ground, and in that moment, she sensed that Willow Creek had already begun to weave its magic, drawing Tara closer to Jody and Daisy, a chance at love she hadn't even realized she'd been searching for. As they stood outside, Daisy tugged on Jody's hand. "Can we go to the swings now?" "Let's go," Jody said, and together, they walked toward the small playground a few steps away. Tara stood back for a moment, watching them share smiles and laughter. In that instant, she knew that she wanted to be there for every laugh, every joy, every challenge. She took a step forward, feeling more certain than ever about her desire to explore the possibilities the future held. "Hey! Wait for me!" Tara called out, her heart speeding up as she joined them, ready to embrace this unexpected journey together. Here, in the heart of Willow Creek, a new adventure was about to begin. As Tara approached the playground, Daisy's laughter echoed joyfully, filling the air with a lightness that seemed to bounce off the colorful structures. Jody stood by a bright green swing, gently pushing her daughter as the little girl squealed in delight. "Higher, Mommy, higher!" Daisy cried, her tiny feet kicking excitedly. "All right, sweet pea. Just hold on tight," Jody replied, her face beaming with pride and love. Tara felt a rush of affection as she watched this beautiful interaction. It reminded her of the kind of family she had once envisioned for herself, a family filled with laughter, love, and endless adventures. She stepped closer, not wanting to interrupt but feeling an undeniable urge to be a part of this moment. "Can I give it a try?" Tara asked, her voice carrying a playful tone. "Absolutely." Jody stepped aside with a grin, and Daisy eagerly clambered off the swing, taking Tara's hands with her excited energy. "Miss Tara, can you go really, really high?" Daisy pleaded, her eyes sparkling with mischief. Tara chuckled, crouching down to meet Daisy at her level. "I'll do my best. But no promises, okay? Safety first." With Daisy settled in the swing, Tara held the chains firmly and began to push. The swing creaked into motion, and Daisy's delighted giggles filled the air. "Look, Mommy! I'm flying!" Daisy squealed with joy. "Just don't take off too high, or you might get whisked away," Jody teased, leaning against a nearby pole, her eyes shining with love for her daughter and admiration for Tara. Feeling a warm sense of fulfillment, Tara pushed Daisy higher, glancing back over her shoulder at Jody. "You have such a lively spirit," Tara remarked. "It's just delightful to see." "Thanks," Jody replied, her smile softening. "She makes every day an adventure, that's for sure." As Tara continued to push Daisy, they engaged in playful banter, and it wasn't long before the swing set transformed into a stage for laughter and joy. Even the backdrop of the beautiful autumn day added a kind of magic to the moment, with the sun casting a golden glow over everything. After a few minutes, Tara gently slowed the swing, bringing Daisy back down to earth. The little girl hopped off, still buzzing with energy. Can we play tag now? She asked, glancing between the two women with an expectant grin. Sure. Why don't I be it? Jody declared playfully, chasing Daisy with feigned seriousness. Tara watched as mother and daughter dashed away, their laughter echoing through the crisp air. Suddenly encouraged by the moment, Tara decided to join in, her competitive spirit ignited. Hey! You better watch out. I'm fast, she called out, giving chase as Daisy squealed and tried to evade capture. A little while later, they collapsed on a patch of soft grass, all three breathless from running. Jody leaned back, panting with laughter. Okay. I give up. You two are too fast for me. Daisy flopped down dramatically beside them, her chest heaving as she tried to catch her breath. That was the best. Next time, you have to be it again, Miss Tara, she said, her voice bubbling with excitement. I'd love to be it again. But only if I can chase you both, Tara replied with a wink. It was really fun. They sprawled together in the golden sunlight, and Tara couldn't help but steal glances at Jody, who was resting against the grass, her hair cascading around her like a halo. The moment felt perfect, comfortable, and yet charged with an undercurrent of possibility. Do you want to go get some ice cream after this? Jody suggested casually, glancing over at Tara with an inviting smile. There's an amazing little place just up the road. They have the best flavors. Count me in. Tara's heart fluttered. Daisy, what do you think? Ice cream with extra sprinkles. Yes. Sprinkles make everything better. Daisy declared, jumping up. Can I pick a flavor? Absolutely. You can pick anything you want, Jody encouraged, then turned to Tara. How long are you staying in Willow Creek? Just a couple more weeks, Tara replied, a hint of longing slipping into her tone. But I think I could get used to this place much longer if it means time spent with you too. Well, we'd love to have you stick around, Jody said softly, looking up at Tara with an intensity that made her heart race. I would love that, if you're okay with it, Tara admitted, her nerves dancing at the thought of forging deeper connections. She wasn't just interested in business anymore, she was beginning to envision a future filled with more laughter, more joy, and more time spent with Jody and Daisy. As they gathered their things and made their way to the ice cream shop, a sense of warmth enveloped Tara, wrapping around her like a familiar embrace. Conversations flowed easily, intermingled with joyful silliness as Daisy asked a million questions, like a curious little butterfly flitting from one topic to another. When they reached the shop, vibrant pops of color adorned the exterior, inviting and cheerful. Inside, the aroma of fresh waffle cones was intoxicating. Jody leaned down to Daisy, whispering something that made her giggle. Okay, my little ice cream connoisseur, what's the flavor of the day? Jody asked as they stepped up to the counter. I want bubblegum. Daisy exclaimed, bouncing on her toes. Bubblegum it is. Jody laughed as she placed their orders. Tara chose a rich chocolate hazelnut flavor, with a sprinkling of crushed nuts, and an extra dollop of whipped cream on top. Great choice. Jody smiled approvingly as Tara picked up her cone. They found a small table outside, basking in the warm autumn sun, their ice cream treating them to a guilty pleasure. Daisy chattered non-stop, twirling a strand of hair around her finger and tackling the immense scoop that threatened to topple over. After a few bites, Tara leaned back, her gaze drifting toward Jody. You know, I truly admire your strength and resilience, she reflected, hoping to convey the depth of her appreciation. Taking care of Mia and keeping things together after what you've been through, I can't imagine how tough that must be. The warmth in Jody's eyes flickered with vulnerability. It hasn't always been easy. I had to rebuild everything from scratch, but it's worth it to see Mia thrive. She's my reason, you know. Tara nodded, understanding that kind of dedication from her core. And what about you? What makes you feel alive? Jody's expression shifted, a flicker of longing deep in her gaze. Moments like this, I guess. Connecting with others, seeing the beauty in small things. I love gardening just as much as you do. Creating something beautiful from very little can be powerful. Tara felt the same fire surge within her, a desire to nurture something new with Jody. Maybe we could garden together sometime. I would love that, Jody replied, grinning widely. Daisy might want to help us plant flowers, too. Perfect. We'll have to make it a family project, Tara said, her heart swelling at the thought. In mid-conversation, Daisy interjected with a handful of sprinkles, catching both of them off guard. Can I put extra sprinkles on everything? She giggled, eyes twinkling. They burst into laughter, the bond between the three of them solidifying with each shared smile, like the strands of a beautiful tapestry weaving together. As the sun began to dip lower in the sky, casting gentle shades of pink and orange across the town, Tara felt a sense of certainty grow within her. Perhaps Willow Creek was not just a temporary stop, perhaps it could be the beginning of something extraordinary. And in this moment, surrounded by Jody and Daisy, she knew she was ready to embrace whatever came next.